Lesson 5. Accepted and Rejected Transmission. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Allahumma akhrijna min zulumatil wahm wa akrimna binuril fahm. Allahumma aftah alayna abwaba rahmatik wanshur alayna khazaina ulumik birahmatika ya arhamar rahimin walhamdulillahi rabbil alamin. Welcome to lesson 5 about accepted and rejected transmission. In the previous lesson, we have dealt with an elaborate classification of hadith. Today, we will deal with determining or the ways on how to determine accepted and rejected transmission. Knowledge of this subject, as you may agree, is very important, for this is the way that one is able to distinguish between authentic reports and weak reports. Because of this, investigation into the circumstances of reporters has been permitted, even though it may entail calumnizing a Muslim for the sake of preserving the pure Islamic law. Of course, the concerned scholar must be careful and cautious in his investigation so that he does not slander a blameless person with what he believes to be a flaw. Point 1. The Hadith scholars are in unanimous agreement that the requirements of a reporter are that he be a Muslim and that he possesses maturity in the legal sense and reason. The majority of scholars also stipulate veracity, that is adala, as a condition. That is, that he be of sound conduct and free from vices of corruption and immorality. They have also stipulated accuracy, in that if he is narrating a tradition from memory, he must possess a good memory. And if he is narrating from a book, he must be accurate in his writing of it and aware of any possible mistakes that may distort the meaning. Masculinity is, or to be a male, is not a prerequisite, nor freedom, not being a slave, nor prior knowledge of jurisprudence or Arabic, nor sight, or the possession of the faculty of seeing. Most people also hold that faith is a prerequisite and have laid it down in their books on the principles of jurisprudence, in spite of their awareness of extant, dependable, and weak reports in matters of jurisprudence, which they justify using the reinforcement of their renown. Second is that the veracity of a reporter is ascertained by the testimony of two veracious individuals, by his widespread repute, according to popular opinion, or by the evidence given by a single veracious person. Number 3, the prevalent opinion is that the authentication or ta'dil of a reporter is acceptable, even if there is no reason given for it, since a person may be deemed reliable for numerous reasons that cannot all be listed. As regards disparagement or jarh of a reporter, it is not acceptable unless the reason for disparaging him is supplied or substantiated, because people differ among themselves about what is blameworthy and what is not. So a reporter whom one person deems blameworthy may not be found to be so by another person. Number 4, The prevalent opinion as regards defamation is that the evidence of a single individual suffices, as was the case with ascertaining the veracity of a reporter. And since number had no consequence in the initial acceptance of the report, it should have no consequence in the subsidiary investigation. If there are both statements defaming a reporter as well as attesting to his veracity, the defamatory statements are taken to be more correct, even though there may be many people attesting to his veracity. This is because the person commending him is doing so as a result of what he can see from his outward conduct, whereas the person defaming him is acting on the basis of information that would otherwise be concealed and unknown to the other. In spite of all this, if the defamatory and commendatory statements conflict with each other, it must be investigated further until one gains preponderance over the other. Number 5. If a veracious reporter says, "A reliable person related to me," his statement is not sufficient for us to implement his report if he does not mention the name of the reporter, for it may well be that he may consider him reliable but others do not. If a veracious reporter narrates a tradition or hadith from a man whom he names, his action does not vouch for the authentication of that person, just as the jurisconsult's legal verdict, according to a tradition, does not automatically mean that the tradition is trustworthy, and his rejection of it does not automatically depreciate the tradition. Number 6. The expressions used to attest to the veracity of reporters are, among others, equitable, that is being adil, the concept of adl; reliable, thiqa; competent authority, hujjah; narrates authentic tradition, sahih al-hadith; and other such phrases denoting veracity. The expressions used to defame reporters are weak, da'if; liar, kadhab; fabricator, wadda'; extremist, ghal; and other such phrases. Number 7. If a reporter deviates into folly, madness, corruption, or immorality after having been in a previous state of righteousness, whatever he has related before his deviation is accepted, and everything after it is rejected. Number 8. If a reliable person narrates a tradition on the authority of another reliable person, which the original speaker of the tradition denies, then if the speaker determinedly asserts his denial, saying, "I did not narrate this," the tradition must be rejected. If, however, he says, "I do not know it," or "I don't remember it," then it does not detract from the more authentic report, but rather the speaker allowed to narrate it on the authority of whomever he has subsequently heard it from, saying, X told me on the authority that I narrated to him that," etc., etc. This type of thing may occur when old people have forgotten their traditions after having transmitted them. Next meeting, we will deal with the modes of receiving and transmitting traditions. Inshallah.